Hi, welcome back. I'm Susie Carder, and this is Susie Snacks, where I give you bite-sized chunks of business information that you can implement immediately. So let me ask you, how do you stay coachable? Right? That's probably one of the biggest challenges I have, is to make sure that my ego doesn't get in the way of what I'm up to. So what does it mean to be coachable? It's about how a person responds when given feedback, and any feedback, positive or not so positive. Input is a valuable tool in your personal development and your business development. It's also, are you willing to take action based on that feedback? Research tells us the correlation between competency and coachability. We surveyed 50,000 leaders, and each leader was assessed on their coachability, their perception, their overall leadership, their effectiveness. We looked at 45 behaviors. The assessment collected gave us feedback and we looked from getting feedback from our managers, from our peers, direct reports. Now, if you don't have those people, don't worry. Find people in your community, because but make sure you respect those people. Don't just get rando feedback from people that you don't respect. I really want you to look at the people that you value their opinion. The overall leadership effectiveness rated at about the 11th percentile. So what I want you to look at when you ask for feedback, the single most important thing you can do is sincerely ask from the feedback from your colleagues, especially that person that might be managing you. And that might be the person closest to you. I worked for years with my husband, and so that was a big challenge for us, because he was my boss, which nobody's the boss of me. I don't know if anybody's the boss of you, but he was not the boss of me. But the reality, he kind of was the boss of me based on our business agreement. And that was humbling, right? To go, oh, I've got to actually listen to this feedback. I have to be humble enough and put my ego aside to be able to hear the suggestions. How can I be more effective in my communication and in my leadership? This is an important step to open the door to feedback. Make sure you're asking people whose opinions mean something to you and you respect. That's incredibly important. Creating a lifelong habit of welcoming feedback. There was an article in Forbes that talked about, in the beginning of a working career, you want to regularly check in. I like to check in with my clients to make sure I'm being an effective coach. I want to check in with my colleagues to make sure that I'm being an effective leader, right? Each person chose 4 different competencies. And what we found was the people that were younger and that did that on an ongoing basis were more coachable inside of their career. Most of us are entrepreneurs, and we want to look at, it's so important because we can be such the lone rangers. And if you're the lone ranger, it's hard to find people to give you feedback and look at your competencies. It's building that muscle. It's really looking at, am I coachable or am I not coachable? Trust me, I've coached a lot of clients that aren't coachable. And I want you to keep in mind that looking at your competencies and looking at what demonstrates you as a leader and as a business person will give you far more effectiveness inside of what you're up to and what you're doing, right? It's challenging to find the right coach and the right relationship, right? Carefully choose someone, first of all, that you can't manipulate, right? And that you can't snow. Like, I'm a smart rat. So if I've had coaches in the past that I've been able to manipulate and they weren't able to call me on my stuff, right? I always look at, does this person make my belly hurt a little bit in a good way? Might give you butterflies. I say hurt, right? That they scare you a little bit because they're up to a big game. We got to find people that are willing to call us out, find people that are willing to hold us to our greatness, and then take the action that they request that you do, right? So I want to ask you a couple questions. What do you need to stay coachable? And what areas do you need to be coached in? Think about that, respond to that, and let me know. I'm Susie Carder, and I can't wait to hear from you.